What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all doing wonderfully. How about a vinyl tour? Over the couple years, I've had lots of people complimenting my background, my filming room. While we're not necessarily doing a room tour, my vinyls are a big part of the room, big part of my inspiration, and a big part of how I spend a lot of my time off camera when I'm not filming. There's my vinyl player. There are my vinyls. It's funny that vinyls kind of sounds like vitals. Like it almost sounds like I'm saying, what are my vitals? Because vinyls are vital. They're not really though, but they're great to have. That's also all of them back there. I don't have that many vinyls. It's all of those and then the ones that you guys see behind the wall that I rearrange sometimes, but for the most part I keep my favorite ones up there. All in all, I want to say I have like between 70 and 80. I was wondering, I was like, should I do this vlog style or should I just do it, you know, the way I normally film stuff? I'm gonna save the vlog style stuff for something real special and important that you guys should keep your eyes peeled for. Also, I'm just gonna plop the vinyls right here, pull them out one by one. We're gonna have a good old time and kind of go through some of these bad boys. Okay, here they all go. I put my vinyls in alphabetical order. I do think that all vinyl collections should be in some kind of order, whether you separate by genre or by artist or by color or by the alphabet like I did. First album up here is Ed Sheeran's X. There was a period with aux, like with cars, where you would plug your phone in. Like Apple Music really first started, or iTunes really first started, and playlists started. You'd have all your music and the first song would always play. Always, and it was always fucking A-Team. If you know, you know. The back of this one is cool too. I like how it's like a green sketch drawing, and you still have the drawing and the detail of all the tattoos as well, and it's in green too. I just find that really cool. Drake, Drizzy Drake's best album. Yes, I said it very out loud and with my whole chest, well, like half my chest. Drake's best album, Take Care. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. This is one of the best rap albums, one of the best rap projects just ever. Shot for Me, Headlines, Crew Love, She Lovin' the Crew, Marvin's Room. We're talking about Marvin's Room. We'll Be Fine, Make Me Proud, Lord Knows, Doing It Wrong. Oh yeah, Fucking Right, The Ride, Look What You've Done. I mean, there are some bangers. Every time I see this project, the fact that it even exists on vinyl, I feel lucky to exist. A little 2-for-1 here. You gotta have the Christmas albums. First of all, the best Christmas vinyl that exists, which is the Charlie Brown Christmas right here. I mean, this thing is just a whole fucking, do you want to feel Christmas coursing throughout your body? Then get this Charlie Brown Christmas vinyl. This is not an ad. And the Christmas number ones, I just like this because it's got like some of my favorite all-time Christmas songs, plus not to mention my actual favorite all-time Christmas song, which is the Christmas song by Nat King Cole. I think that's the best Christmas song ever for me personally. Chloe and Halle, Ungodly Hour. I mean, if you know, you know. Once again, this project is fire. I feel like this project is just the very best of the both of them. I got a couple Childish Gambino vinyls here. I have his first two, his first EP, Camp. If you know, you know. I'm gonna be saying that a lot. And then I have Because the Internet, his first solo project. I'm just a big fan of Gambino and his rapping. Never really got into Gambino when he started getting into more of the, you know, soulful R&B Gambino, and not because I wasn't into it. I just never really took the time to check it out, and I was just really into his specific style of rap when he was doing more of the rap, and that's what these projects here are. They are rap projects. Gotta show some love to my guy Cautious Clay. I've got a table of context, the EP, Blood Type, the EP. Both of these are EPs. We're gonna be getting some more Cautious. He's up there in the top. If you don't know about Cautious Clay, go check him out right now. Stop this video and go check him out, because the dude is just like a mastermind of music, and I'd never heard a bad song by him. He's just so good, man. Actually, let's pull out the table of context vinyl. Show some love to Cautious. I mean, look at that thing. It's got like the transparency, but it's still got markings on it. It's got that clear grayish, like charcoalish look, and then the orange in the middle, which matches the album. This one's gorgeous.
You can do photo albums. You'll be able to do t-shirts. Michael, what are some of the other things you'll be able to do?
Boys to Men, Legacy Greatest Hits Collection. I know it's not cool to have a greatest hits album. I'm aware, but I don't really care. Boy Genius, I just got this. Like a couple weeks ago. This album just came out, and I listened to the album, and probably no more than 30 minutes after I was done listening to this, I one decided this was my favorite album of the year, and I two decided that I had to buy this on vinyl immediately. I ran straight to Target as soon as I finished listening to this. Another greatest hits album, it's Bob Marley. I mean, I had to throw some Bob Marley in my collection. Also, this record puts me in one of my better moods. Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? This has ended up turning into probably my favorite Billie Eilish album that I thought would sound best on a record to spin it. The last few tracks, I mean, When the Party's Over is obvious, but when you get to Listen Before I Go, I Love You, and Goodbye, they sound so good on the record player. Also, I love this cover because it's so sleek, right? It's just black and so sleek, and she's wearing the white and on the white bed, but then when you get to the actual vinyl itself, it's so cool. Look at the color of that. It's like glue color, and especially when you compare it to the vinyl itself, how it's like mostly all black. She kind of did the opposite color things where the inside is black and the outside is mostly that white color. I just think it was so smart visually, and I'm not surprised because Billie is the total artist. A complete necessity of a project to own on vinyl for many reasons. One, this is just the queen, Beyonce, and its renaissance. Two, because it's just one of the best albums that came out last year. Three, again, the genre mixing. You know, I've had R&B, I've had pop, I've had rap, get my reggae listening, I got Christmas music, and then with Beyonce, it's a fucking dance album, so you get to really mix it up, and you still get Beyonce in your record collection. Also, I've got to show you what's inside of here, because Beyonce made sure you were getting every penny's worth of what you spent on this thing. First of all, yeah, that you see that there's like a poster right here. This folds out to be a poster. Just look at the colors. Look at it popping off right here. The color popping off. There's a whole booklet, like a photo booklet right here with the alternative color and a bunch of pictures of Beyonce with the song lyrics. I mean, look at this, man. This is so awesome. I love this thing so much. I mean, these and not just the fact that they're photos, but look at the photos themselves. So fucking dope. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I could go through all of them and it just would get even sicker. And then the part that's holding the actual vinyls isn't like, you know, a lot of people, most people just have like the white holder or just like a colored holder. No, she's got like, again, photos of her holding the records, and it's amazing, man. Like what she accomplished, not just with the record, but to put this together is a real achievement. And again, worth every penny. It ain't cheap, but it's worth every penny. Here we got Alicia Keys, As I Am. I grew up listening to Alicia Keys, loving Alicia Keys. Probably my favorite female artist growing up, and I think this is actually her best album overall. You've got As I Am, you got Superwoman, you got No One, you got Like You'll Never See Me Again. That run of songs right there alone makes this vinyl worth it. And then you get like Alicia Keys and that super distinct voice on top of a record. You're like mixing two different levels of rasp, and it's just so cool. Adele, 30, had to get the new Adele project. Clearly my I listened to this one recently, which is why it's supposed to be in alphabetical order, and it should have been the one that started at the very top, but clearly I mixed my vinyls up at some point, and that's bothering me a little bit right now, but it's fine because I wasn't bothered when I was listening to this album. I mean, you know, if you know, you know. Easy on Me, coursing through your home when you have this vinyl playing. I Drink Wine, coursing through your home and your body when you're drinking wine yourself. I love this record. 5 Sauce 5 by 5 Sauce. I've also got Calm by 5 Sauce because of course these are the last two projects from the boys. I will say, man, I love Calm. I've spoken about Calm so much on the channel. 5 Sauce 5 especially is so great on vinyl. There's something about it that really lends itself to that sound specifically. The songs like Older, which is like made for vinyl, Me, Myself, and I, Bad Omens, just my favorite song on the record. Take My Hand. Like, those songs were made for vinyl, more so even than the songs on Calm. Miguel, Kaleidoscope Dream. Just grew up on Miguel, and one of the best R&B projects ever. This is the project that has Adorn on it, and everyone knows that song, Adorn, but I just love the project as a whole. Michael Jackson, Thriller. Confession, I haven't listened to this. I bought it because I wanted to start listening to Michael Jackson. I thought this would obviously be a good place to start. I just haven't had the chance to listen to it yet. I feel like I see this everywhere. Like every record shop I go to, I see this vinyl. So I'm certainly not the only one that owns it, I know. Miles Davis, because blues in the house is just nice. It's just nice to get some blues in the house, and Miles Davis does it better than anybody. I mean, vinyls were like made for like jazz music, I feel like that's what was intended. So, you know, the more records like that, the better. I'm trying to really up my jazz collection. I've got a couple projects, and this Miles one I think is the first one we've seen, but I'm definitely still trying. Like, if anyone's got recommendations for great jazz projects, please comment them down below. Ellie Martinez, K12. I bought this like right after I heard K12 for the first time because I really enjoyed that. Maroon 5, Songs About Jane. This record is so absurd. This is one of the best albums ever made. I know that it's like embarrassing to be a fan of Adam Levine or Maroon 5 at this point for obvious reasons, but I'm not a fan of either of those things at this point. I'm a fan of this project when it came out, which was like so long ago. Like I was a kid when this came out, and it's one of the first times I can remember listening to music and feeling that like, oh, whoa, this is what is this doing to my body? What is this doing to my mind? This is like an out-of-body experience. I'll never forget that, and I appreciate that till this day. And this is one of those two, like, start to finish, there's not a skip on this project. Really is an all-timer. Louis Tomlinson, Walls. Just a huge fan of Louis Tomlinson, and the project sounds great on a vinyl. Louis, I need you to get Faith in the Future on vinyl. That's what I need you to do if you're watching this. I'm about to reveal something about me here. I am a big Justin Timberlake fan. There is Man of the Woods, the most recent project by Justin. There is the 2020 Experience, the one right before that. Here is Future Sex Love Sounds with Piece of Hair on it. One of the greatest albums ever to be made. Actually, I think that both of these albums, 2020 Experience and Future Sex Love Sounds, are two of the greatest pop albums ever made, ever of all time. They're completely revolutionary for pop, especially for the times that they came out during. And I think Justin deserves a lot of credit for like a huge transition of pop music specifically. And I, of course, had the debut Justified, because we can't sleep on that either. I will say Man of the Woods, not a good album. Continuum, John Mayer, it's one of the best albums ever made. That's all. Waiting on the World to Change, Gravity, Vultures, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room, Dreaming with a Broken Heart. Just song after song after song on this project. It sounds great on vinyl. It's just one of the best projects I've ever heard. Hozier, a voice made for vinyl, a voice made for singing. I'm a big fan of soundtracks, and I have two of the Harry Potter film soundtracks, The Goblet of Fire and The Order of the Phoenix, because they are two of my favorite soundtrack specifically. Also, it's just super dope to have Voldemort, Ralph Fiennes Voldemort on a vinyl, and then our people here on another vinyl. These are all of Harry's projects on vinyl: Harry's House, Fine Line, and Self-Titled. I mean, I love Harry Styles. That's all. All these projects are completely different, like in really great ways. It's like a totally different experience from each one, and yet it's the same artist. You can hear such a specific evolution. Specifically, I can hear such a specific evolution of an artist that's clearly like making intentional changes in their music, and I find that really interesting when I go through these vinyls one by one and the order they were released. Also, Harry's first vinyl, the Self-Titled, slaps so hard on vinyl. I mean, Meet Me in the Hallway and From the Dining Table, starting and ending like that, not fair. Haim, Woman in Music. This is one of my favorite groups in the world, and it's one of my favorite just artists in the world, and I love the title of this album, Woman in Music, because how badass is that? And also, this is just one of the most badass artists walking the face of the earth right now. Giveon, Give or Take. This one's more recent, and I just think Giveon's one of the most talented R&B art. R&B is my favorite genre. So I'm a fan of finding like artists that I think are just really great at what they're doing in that genre, and I think Givion's one of the best to be doing it right now. I love the front and back of this. Like I love how it kind of pops on the back a little bit with the art style that he used and the font that he used and the way it's kind of like spray paintish with like blurry lights that look like it's part of a drawing, and then on the front it's just those darker tones. I just think that's a really clever way to front and back project art. I got some Frankie J projects, Obsession, because I have to have a little Latin mix in here, and it's my favorite Latin artist. English artist as well. Frankie does both. Most of you actually know Obsession, the song, and like Sugar Sugar, he's done as well. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, because everybody owns this project. I mentioned that I had Divide and I found it, and again, my vinyls are terribly out of order, clearly. Trombone Shorty, Lifted. This is another jazz album. This is New Orleans specific jazz. And again, I've just me shopping for jazz albums and me hoping you guys will drop me some recommendations for some great jazz music. Lana Del Rey, Did You Know There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard? This is the newest vinyl that I have. I just bought this. I actually haven't even gotten a chance to listen to it yet. I got it 2 days ago and I've just been super busy. This will definitely be the next album that I plug in, and I can't wait because this is one of the best albums I've heard all year. This one, the Boy Genius Project, the record, and Ray, 21st Century Blues are the three best projects I've heard this year. Actually, since I already mentioned it, let me bust out the Ray project, 21st Century Blues. If y'all haven't heard this, go listen to it, because not only does Ray deserve all the streams and listens and support in the entire world, and you'll get it after you listen to it if you haven't heard it. The project's just so great. It's so great, and I bought this one really recently too, but this one I have listened to on vinyl, and it just sounds great. The Weeknd, After Hours, just one of the biggest projects ever, right? So kind of had to own it just to hear a lot of those songs that are really beloved on this album. Now we're going to go through my Taylor Swift vinyls. I have six. I have Midnights, Evermore, Folklore, Lover, Red, Taylor's version, of course, and I also have Fearless, Taylor's version. Definitely waiting on the Taylor's versions for Speak Now and Self-Titled before I buy those vinyls, and I definitely need 1989 and Reputation also. It's incredible. Like, Taylor's discography is a vinyl collection of its own. How about this? My favorite out of these is, I'll give you two. My two faves out of these are Folklore, definitely, and say Red, Taylor's version. So Folklore and Red, I'd say these are my favorites. Summer of Soul, Questlove. I haven't got the chance to listen to this yet. I actually just got this really recently. I just trust Questlove with everything as a music connoisseur. Said I love soundtracks before. One of my favorite soundtracks is Stranger Things soundtrack. I mean, they've done one of the best jobs in the history of TV, in my opinion, with sound score. Of course, I've got a couple of vinyls from my boy Shawn Mendes here, Self-Titled, and Wonder, which is one of my favorite albums of all time. Wonder is a really good listen on vinyl. You put it down and then it's those beautiful angelic ahs from the Wonder intro, and then Wonder, and like it really sets the tone for listening to it on a record specifically. Highly recommend this project. I'm a Directioner, so I've got 4, and I've got Made in the AM on vinyl because I have to. My favorite One Direction project right here, 4, just banger after banger after banger after banger. Sour, because of course I've got Sour. You gotta have Sour. You gotta get in your feels on the vinyl, so I go to this when I want to get in my feels. NSYNC, No Strings Attached, one of the greatest boy band albums, projects ever made, ever. Bye Bye Bye, It's Gonna Be Me, This I Promise You. I mean, come on. I love me some Niall Horan, so I've got both of Niall Horan's projects, the debut project Flicker and Heartbreak Weather, the more recent one. Love me Niall. I am a Niall boy, Niall stan. Plastic Hearts, Miley Cyrus, one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. That's all. I have all these vinyls for a reason, so I probably should just say that as a precursor to every single one. Next, I'm gonna pull the ones off the wall. I would love it if y'all ignored the wall damage. These are the vinyls on the wall, and they're on the wall because I listen to them the most, probably. I just interchange. So here we have Little Mix, Between Us. This is the last project that they dropped before they went on a bit of a hiatus to focus on solo music. And I just love these girls. Really love opening this one up because it's already, you think it can't get more beautiful than this, right? Boom, it does. Gracie Abrams, This Is What It Feels Like. This has shot itself up to like one of my top 10 all-time favorite albums right here. I love this album that much, so of course I have it on vinyl. Blonde, Frank Ocean. This is a holy grail vinyl for me. The fact that I even own this, I feel really fortunate to have. Again, the rest of these vinyls that I pull up, just assume they're all in my top 10 albums of all time. It's why they're up there, and it's why I listen to them the most, and it's why we're saving them for last year. Blonde, top 10 all-time for me. Frank Ocean, where's the album, bro? Usher Confessions, top 10, not just top 10 of all time for me, top 3 albums of all time for me. This is an amazing project and no skips. Not one single skip. Not only that, every single song is just lit on fucking fire with gasoline poured all over it. When Facing the Things We Turn Away From, Luke Hemmings, for my real sad boy hours. Also just a great project for vinyl. Neo, In My Own Words. I love me some Neo, man. The R&B theme continues. The songs on here that you guys would be familiar with. This album has So Sick and Sexy Love. I know you know those songs. But it's also front to back just an incredible project, and I believe it's his debut one as well, which says a whole lot. Cautious Clay, put some respect on my guy Cautious Clay's name. Also, this one is signed, yes, because I'm just a huge fan. Guys, Deadpan Love is what I would recommend for anyone getting into Cautious. Just go listen to this project, do yourselves that favor. Now we're closing on my fave in the entire world, Zayn, of course. This is Mind of Mind. I also have Icarus Falls. Zayn also has an album called Nobody Is Listening that is not available for vinyl, unfortunately, because he likes to commit crimes to humanity. I gotta open up both of these though, because these are two of the coolest fucking vinyls in the world. We're gonna be real soft and gentle with this one because this is my baby, and I've had this since it came out, which was 7 years ago now. I mean, look at this. Are you kidding me? How fucking awesome is that right there? Yeah. And then with Icarus Falls, you obviously have both sides, the light and the dark. And then he came through with the hot pink vinyl. So yeah, guys, that's every vinyl I own. Let me know some of your guys' favorite vinyls that you own, or your all-time favorite vinyl you own, some vinyls that you really want to own that you don't yet. Please actually comment your favorite vinyls that you own, because I am always on the market looking for vinyls, and I'll take any and all recommendations. And if I am at my local shop and I see the one that you comment, I will buy it. Lots of love, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me.